Welcome back. Nelson, this is one of my favorite questions, and I'll tell you why. I remember influencers, I think they come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes for a second, somebody says something, or sometimes for a lifetime. And if I can give a quick example, when I was younger, like 5, 6, my grandfather was from Kiev, used to take me on walks to the park in Montreal. And finally, he always talked to people. And finally I said, Zeta, I said, how do you know all these people? And he said, I don't know any of them. I smile at them, and then they smile back at me, and then they start talking to me, and now they're my friends. And it stuck with me forever about how simple and brilliant that was, as that influenced me among other people in my life. So, with respect to you, can you share with us 2 or 3 people that have influenced your life?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I always start with my parents. Like I definitely, I've gone, I'm 54, so there were times in my life when I was closer and more distant when I was younger. But as I came to adulthood, I really I sort of woke up to the fact that so much of the values that I am passionate about and then are imprinted on me really come from them. And my parents are very different people, right? My mom is she was an English teacher for most of her professional life. I certainly, the writing is my writing is all from her, but also a certain fierceness. And she has a kind of a renegade personality where she never heard anybody say she never took no for an answer. Like if she thought something needed to be done and it wasn't being done, she was just going to do it herself, and everyone else be damned. And so she's on my list. My dad is a very different personality. He's really a peacemaker. He's somebody who really modeled just connecting with people, meeting people where they are, being non-judgmental for people. And I really find he's as a rabbi, like I went in a very different path than the spiritual one leadership that he chose. But I very much find that that example for me, it really infuses my work of trying to not just give people advice, but to offer some kind of comfort to people and to really be with them, present with them in whatever they're dealing with. So those are like close to home ones. If I had to pick 2, I'll pick a historical one. If there's anybody who really speaks to me, it's Winston Churchill. I just love I'm inspired when I read what it was like at this dark moment of history, just the absolute refusal to bend, and the determination to pick up people at a time that they were beleaguered, and really to hold things together. I love everything about Churchill, particularly like his ability to come up with just these little succinct things. I find myself using little Churchillisms like we few, every time you organize a meeting as a leader and nobody shows up, we lucky few, right? There's a lot of Churchill that speaks to me. If I had to pick somebody modern, I would say I'm actually, I'm a Detroit Lions fan. I don't always share that so proudly because we're not exactly one of the great powerhouse teams, but I really admire Barry Sanders. I have to say, like for me, the fact that he made his own decisions, he was in my opinion, the greatest running back of our time, but he just decided, I'm at a point where I'm healthy. We're living in a time with players getting concussions and just grinding away their bodies. And he said, I'm healthy. I achieved what I wanted to achieve, and I want to go live my life. And he's devoted himself to his community. I mean, to me, that's also just a model that I really admire and try to live to. So that's my list.
They could have used them this year.
More than a little.
That's a great list, because you have English teacher, rabbi, Churchill, and then the football player. So you're into diversity. That's what's good. Hey, thanks so much for sharing that. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Great to be with you.